On the next McDougall MD, we'll be cooking with my TV mom, Michael Learned.
And Mary talks with Peter Tork of the Monkees.
Join us right here.
This is Hello Channel.
Today on McDougall MD, we've got Peter Tork from the Monkees. We'll find out how a good diet keeps him and his partner going strong on the road. And speaking of on the road, Dr. John will tell us how to eat out in restaurants. We'll also visit my TV mom, Michael Learned from the Waltons. She invites us into her kitchen and we'll make a Mexican lasagna that's very good. I'm Mary McDougall and you're watching McDougall MD.
I like your hair today.
Oh, thank you. Isn't it nice?
It's very nice.
Thanks. So, you're going to give us some advice about...
Mary, I'm on the road, well, in the airlines, I'm on the road 100,000 miles a year. And so I am an expert on eating out. Eating out in all kinds of restaurants, fast food restaurants, regular restaurants, and so on.
So, how do you do it?
People always give me the excuse, you know, that they travel so they can't stick to a healthy diet. Now, when I talk about a healthy diet, let's define it. We're talking about a plant-based diet. We're talking about starches, vegetables, and fruits, and as little processed food as possible, and as little oil as possible. And it does present a challenge. But you can take me to 10 restaurants in any town, and I'll order a great meal in 8 of them without any trouble at all.
And so you don't bring food with you then?
No, I don't.
You don't, because you don't have to.
No. Starting out, one of the best things you can do is you can call your travel agent or somehow contact your airline and put in your data bank exactly what you want. So that you call up for a reservation, it just goes in. I want a pure vegetarian meal. That's the way I order it. Then you're sure you're going to get something good on the plane, or at least you're heading in the right direction. Eating out when I travel is real easy for breakfast. And it doesn't take a lot of imagination. You can always get oatmeal.
Yes. That's
you
true.
can get cold cereals. No, I don't use milk.
I use apple juice in my oatmeal.
You know, when people say that, when I say apple juice, they go, yuck.
Oh, you're kidding?
No,
my daughter does too. I actually gave her milk in it one time and she said, "Ooh, Mommy, this is yucky. Where's the apple juice?"
Yeah, moisture and sweetness from the apple juice. And so use apple juice or other kinds of juices on your cereal. You can order whole wheat toast, dry, and then you put a little jam on the top. Hash brown potatoes, ideal. And you order salsa with them or maybe a little ketchup over the top. Now the waitress will say to you, "Look, our hash browns are all cooked in oil. We can't do it for you." Just say, "Look, tell the chef I got plenty of time, scrape off the griddle and cook my hash browns on a dry griddle." And then you'll get them.
Oh, and they'll do that.
Yeah. And fruit, of course, you can order for breakfast.
Yes,
fruit juice would be okay. Now on to lunch. So in fact, let's talk about lunch and dinner together because they're going to be very similar. You can look for a vegetarian restaurant, but don't let your guard down because...
Why? What are the warnings of vegetarian restaurants,
Vegetarian
John?
restaurants, they could have eggs, they could have cheese, they could be high fat.
Of course, and if you don't eat those things, you want to look out for them.
That's right. You want to be careful if you don't eat those things. Absolutely. Well, I'm working on you, Mary. So, you know, just because you're going into a health food or vegetarian restaurant doesn't mean you still have to be careful. Salad bars are good places to eat. And
there are fast food restaurants that have great salad bars.
Well, less and less all the time, but yes,
really?
there are.
But there
I
are
think so.
some fast food restaurants that you can go to.
There's some good restaurants too. And then you go through the salad bar and you get things, again, that meet the criteria that we talked about. You get to the end of the salad bar, you don't want to ruin that delicious plate of vegetables by adding an ounce or two of oil over the top. You do. Okay. Well, I don't. So what I would do is I would bring my oil-free salad dressing alone. I got to watch my figure, Mary. You don't have to.
Oh, thanks.
I'd bring my oil-free salad dressing alone.
Oh, you do. So that is one thing you do
vinegar.
pack. Is your salad dressing?
I don't, but I could.
Yeah.
Or lemon or vinegar you could use over the top, but that's certainly a possibility. Mexican restaurants are ideal. Now you go into a Mexican restaurant, you sit down, what is the first thing they do?
Well, they bring you chips.
Greasy chips.
But usually those are in vegetable oil.
Well, again, I got to watch my figure, so that vegetable oil is very easily stored.
But you have to be careful of manteca in Mexican restaurants. That's the lard.
Oh, okay.
That they will put into a lot of beans.
I would avoid that too. First thing I'd say is, would you please take the chips away? I'd like to have soft corn tortillas. So they bring out a whole platter of soft corn tortillas. I get some salsa, and that's what I would dip dip into my salsa.
Oh, you're so good! Isn't he good?
Well,
He's
okay.
So
now
healthy.
we got to go on. Now we got to go on to the main plate. What you do is you first of all ask what do they put in their beans?
Right.
Because they refry them. They refry them in vegetable oil or lard.
Lard, yeah.
And what you say to them is, if they tell you they use oil in their beans, is you say, well, I'm sure you've got a pot of beans back there, whole beans that you cook, and they're sitting back there before you refry them. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to have my tortilla or my burrito made with whole beans, whole black beans, whole
and
pinto
they're nice
beans.
about this.
Oh, they'd love to do it for you.
Really?
And then you
Okay.
put lettuce and tomato and salsa over the top and roll it up, and you have a great
and you have a
meal.
huge meal.
Or a tostada. You can do the same
Oh,
type of treatment.
tostada, because
Sure.
you'll have a lot of
You
lettuce
say,
with it and tomatoes.
no cheese.
Guacamole, no cheese, no sour cream.
Well, listen, when
See?
I'm feeling a little risky, I order a little guacamole.
Ooh,
Pizza.
John.
Go in
Yes.
and order a pizza.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce is oil-free. You order
Yes.
all kinds of vegetables over the top, and you say, hold the cheese. And, of course, hold the pepperoni and the other things. And you get a great pizza. It may not be perfect, but it's good, real good.
Mm-hmm.
Italian restaurants.
Pasta.
Angel hair pasta, right?
And
you
they have all the fresh tomatoes and basil now, that they just ask for that.
And you can add that. Yeah, they do that, don't they?
They do,
Sure.
yeah.
Usually the marinara sauce does have oil in it, but maybe they have one without. Indian restaurants. Indians are noted for being vegetarians. I mean, that's kind of their thing, is being vegetarian.
Except for that tandoori chicken cooking.
I don't know about that, Mary. I don't know anything about that. But what they do when they make Indian food is just before, they make it out the day before, earlier that day, and just before they bring it out, they pour clarified butter called ghee over the top. They couldn't pour it over before because it would go rancid. So what you tell them is, I want my dish without the ghee. And so they bring out a nice eggplant dish or garbanzo bean-based dish.
Without it, and you're in.
Right.
That's
right.
great.
Chinese restaurants?
Oh,
easy.
that's easy.
You know what happens
But
when
no
you order,
MSG, right?
Right. When you order, yes, no MSG. When you order white rice, or when you order brown rice in a Chinese restaurant, you get white rice with soy sauce on it.
No.
So, yeah, that's all you get
Is
for
it
brown
really?
rice. So you're going to be stuck with white rice. But you can get, you ask them for a monk's dish in a Chinese restaurant. Japanese restaurants, likewise, are very easy to order in. There's a noodle dish called udon.
Udon, very good.
And you look at it and it says udon shrimp, udon chicken, and so on. All you have to do is you just say, I want udon. Vegetable soup. It's great. It's
These
easy,
are
Mary.
Great
You can do it.
tips. I could even do this. These are great tips, John. When we
takes
come
the
back,
desire.
we'll be talking with a real monkey, Peter Tork.
The story is already told. They say Jimmy got a touch like magic. Make a little room, you let him roll those dice.
Children can learn English by watching Hello Channel.
I did something you mentioned in our last class. I drew pictures with my 5-year-old last night. Who knew she had so much to say?
I didn't understand the assignment.
I did the other thing you said. You know, get down on their level. Make eye contact.
And then we just walked around the park, past the school, then we had to go by Bobby Felden's house.
I had no idea my son wanted to play the piano.
Okay, slow down. I got park, school, talk, piano. What was the other thing?
I'll be honest, at first, I was really frightened. Can you imagine a man my size playing hopscotch? But you know what? It really got things going. We related. We really did.
Very good. Next week's assignment is to eat dinner together every night and tell me what changes in your family.
Do we get extra credit for dessert?
Excellent. Class dismissed.
Give your family everything. Give them your time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Welcome back. You know, John, in my interview with Peter Tork, which we're going to see in just a minute, he talks about arthritis in his hands and how it affects his guitar playing.
It's a common problem. 1/3 of the population has some form of arthritis. And, you know, this is a disease that is becoming more and more common. There's different kinds of arthritis. There's inflammatory, which I like to treat, like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus and psoriatic arthritis. And there's also the degenerative arthritis, which is what they call wear and tear. Both of them have a relationship to diet, but you get a much more dramatic benefit when you change the diet of somebody with inflammatory arthritis like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. They say that before 1957, there were no cases of rheumatoid arthritis in Africa, and before 1960, there were no cases of lupus in Africa. Yet, if you look at North America, what you find is the highest incidence of both lupus and rheumatoid arthritis is in the Black American.
because of the change
because
in
of the
diet.
change in diet. And that's the first hint. And then investigators, Mary, have taken people who have rheumatoid arthritis, it's mostly rheumatoid they've studied, and they've changed their diet. They put them on fasts, water fasts or juice fasts, or put them on vegetarian diets. And that means vegetarian diets without dairy products. And they find that in many people, their rheumatoid arthritis completely disappears. And an even larger number of people, it gets dramatically better. Yet very few people know this. Unfortunately, they go to the doctor and they're told about taking aspirin or Motrin or other types of medications to kill the pain. And they've got to know that the power of their plate, if they change their diet, they'll make a huge difference in their arthritis. Maybe you can pass that on to Peter Tork sometime.
We'll pass that on to Peter. Yeah. Well, I think you are going to really like this interview, John. It's very wild. I love these guys. I had so much fun with them, and it's a very kooky interview. And here we go to Peter Tork and his partner, James Lee Stanley. Hold on, John. Here we go. I just have to get it over with, you know. Everybody asks me about the Waltons. I have to ask you. We'll get it over with fast. Monkeys.
Yeah, monkeys. That's it.
They never knew the Waltons.
You talk about getting over it fast.
Although,
you never knew you were going to get over it.
Tell them what do you
great,
want
but you know, great. You know, everybody always asks me, was it great? Is it? Do you look back on it now?
It was
with
great.
More
It sucked. What do you want to know?
It's everything.
It's
everything.
It's you know, the thing. I once somebody asked me. I said, well, you know, I like those guys and I respect them and love them sometimes in varying proportions. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's tough. And you know, you have to go in no matter whether you feel like it or not. And somebody said, oh, sounds just like real life. Yes.
And it is.
And it is.
I'm going to steal that
for
my next
knows.
interview.
Except they get paid.
And now the two of you.
Which you don't in real life. I didn't know
you?
that. I didn't realize there was such poverty.
Been partners holding these up. You've been doing this for about a year.
Yes.
And how is that?
It's fantastic fun.
We're wonderful. It's brilliant.
You're having a great time?
Yes.
We're going to say anything else.
And
actually, it's more fun than you'd think.
Is it? Really, with
yes,
him?
Really.
More fun than you know.
We've been friends since my waist was thin and my hair was thick.
And when you're on the road, since we are talking about diet and lifestyles and stuff, is it difficult when you're on the road to?
Very much so. It's hard to. I mean, you have to go to Wendy's and buy the potatoes all the time.
Mm-hmm. Now you have been following the McDougall diet.
Yeah, I'm on Star Trek as an alien, and I see myself every couple of weeks on TV, really. And I looked like a fat guy last March, and I just went, this won't do. So I finally embraced that McDougall diet and started. I lost 13 pounds, and I'm starting. My real self is beginning to emerge. So you have to hang in there for a little bit longer than you think, and then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like over the weekend. It was like when you lose your vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when your eyes
it
change.
Really changed.
Yeah, it changes over the weekend. All of a sudden, you look good.
And they've told me that you suffer from arthritis. Is that true?
I think I have a little. It hasn't been diagnosed, but there's a creakiness sometimes in the.
But it's why you avoid all the night
shifts. Does it affect
the Solanaceae family? Yes, it does. It slows down my guitar playing a little bit.
Solanaceae.
Solanaceae is the name
for colds.
No, that's the name of the family of nightshades. No, echinaceae. No, the tomatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, all of those plants I have been told exacerbate arthritis, and so I've been laying off them, and the creaking has gone down a little bit.
You've noticed a difference?
Yeah, I think so.
So you changed your diet, and you noticed a difference.
Yeah, we drowned out the music.
Do you do any particular exercise?
No, I don't remember the name of the thing, the one we used.
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's the swim, I think it is.
Now, has James been following the McDougall plan? Has that affected the way you eat at all, or do you ever?
I don't have much of a regimen except that I don't eat mammal meat.
You don't.
And then I don't drink or drug anymore, thank God.
So, well, we know that we have two-man band and that we can all get it anywhere.
Yes, you can.
And,
Tower Records. Tower Records is good.
Tower.
Or Beechwood Recordings, actually. You can get it directly from us.
Which is great, and I think we're going to play a little bit of this.
You can still dial. Going to play.
And we have an 800 number.
1-800-6-MUSIC-0.
Wait, did you get that?
1-800-6-MUSIC-0.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wow, is that right?
That's right.
Imagine
that's great.
That. Yep.
I've been calling the wrong number. Everybody's talking. All around the town they got the news. Everybody's talking. And they say Jimmy got the front page blues. Ooh, Jimmy got a touch like magic. Watching places bends while they spin the wheel. All around the table the crowd is frantic. Electricity is there. It's a fever in the air you can feel. Came on like a heat wave. Everything it touched just turned to gold. came on like a heat wave. And every story is already told. They say Jimmy got a touch like magic. Make a little room, you let him roll those dice. Jimmy got a touch like magic. It's the kind of lucky streak can happen in a lifetime twice. Uh-oh. Everybody knows it. Something going on and it's going good. Everybody shows it. This rabbit's feet, mustard seed knocking on wood. I guess you got to get it while you're able. You got to catch it while you can.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in the kitchen cooking with my mother from the Waltons, Michael Learned.
You can learn English by watching Hello.
We are in the home of my TV mother, Michael Learned. She has graciously opened up her beautiful home and kitchen for us to have our cooking segment in.
Wonderful.
So thank you for having us. And today we are going to make, John, what are we
We are going
making?
to make Mexican lasagna.
That's
and
right.
I've got the instructions for you.
Okay, but before we started that, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your health regime. And I know you quit smoking. Was that tough?
Oh, no, it was easy.
How did you do it?
I pulled my chair up to the refrigerator for a year and went from there.
Just ate, huh?
And then how did you stop pulling your chair up to the refrigerator?
Oh, who says I've stopped?
You know, there is a secret to quitting smoking.
What?
Because I have 10-pack years behind me.
Do you really?
And there's only one secret, and that is you don't take the next cigarette.
That's absolutely right.
And there's nothing else on the table, because if you do, at least me, I'd be back to 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
And keep trying, because I had to try 4 times before I was finally able to do it. My kids did everything they could to make me quit.
Right.
But I finally did.
You learn something new about yourself every time.
15
didn't you?
years now.
15
so, yeah,
years.
yeah.
Wow.
So were you trying to imply that food substituted for cigarettes?
It did. I have to tell you, it did. Sugar.
Sugar.
You know, hard candy and lots of chewing gum.
So what kind of health things would you like to change for yourself?
Sugar.
Just sugar.
That's the only thing, because I'm pretty healthy.
Because you talked about
eat very
M&Ms
healthfully.
that you really...
Yes, I suggested that they should somebody should open an M&M rehab. Where you just check in for people
well, you know,
like me.
M&Ms are bad for you in a couple of ways. One, you've got all that sugar, which raises your insulin levels, and then you've got all that fat, half of it's fat, and that insulin just stuffs the fat in the fat cells, so you don't stand a chance.
So you get really fat, but boy, is it good.
It's good. It is good, Michael, because we're naturally designed as seekers of sugar. If you remember high school biology, we have on the tip of the tongue sweet-tasting taste buds. We're supposed to be out there looking for sugar, but not in the form that industry gives it to us. They give it to us in concentrated forms. We're supposed to look at it in the form of, say, fruit or potatoes or sweet potatoes. And then when you go and get your sugars, that way you get all the other healthful things, the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins, the fibers, and so on. And so if you fill up on those things first, then those M&Ms are not quite as attractive.
You know, you're absolutely right, because I know when I'm eating healthfully, I don't really crave sugar the way I do if I'm stressed and I'm running and I skip a meal or something like that, then all of a sudden I gotta have that sugar fix. You know? And of course I pay for it.
Well, let's talk about some food that can also give you a better life. We've got a great recipe here.
Making Mexican lasagna.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Did you preheat that oven to 350 degrees?
350, that's right,
All
I sure
right.
did. And as I understand, you need a Mary. A Mary to
Yeah,
help
well,
you cook at all
I
times,
understand.
because John, I am helping him in the kitchen now because his Mary is.
Let me give you a few instructions
We all
here.
need a Mary.
Thank you,
Place the
Michael.
onions and mushroom in a medium saucepan. I mean, this is simple kind of cooking. It's out of
Okay,
Mary's
here are
Quick and Easy
onions.
cookbook.
Is that a medium saucepan?
Well, we needed this big one because we have so much. And here are our mushrooms going into our medium saucepan. Yes.
All right, now we need to cook it, stirring
Yes.
occasionally for 2 minutes.
Oh, we have and what we're going to do is we're going to put this on, and of course we're not going to do it here because it's the magic of television. And you just stir it around and cook it until the
Right,
mushrooms
and
get a
then you
little
add
soft
the
in
tomatoes,
mushrooms.
beans, chili powder.
Here are our
Mix well and cook
tomatoes.
for another 3 minutes. I mean, this is so simple.
Here are our beans.
Do we
All
need
right.
Beano for this? No.
You know, you're talking about one of the less talked about pleasures of eating a healthy vegetarian diet. One of the secrets to getting the gas out of the beans is to cook them thoroughly, which we're going to do. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right, now that we have our mixture all made up, the next thing we have to do is we get the whole wheat tortillas.
Okay.
Here they are,
Now,
right here.
Pretend
Do you
that
need
I
a spoon?
put this on the stove, and presto, here comes our cooked version.
Very good. It's quicker and easier than you thought, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay, we need to place 4 of these tortillas over the bottom of a non-stick 9x12 pan.
Okay, there you go. Want to help us with that, Michael?
1, 2, 3. You do that.
Okay.
I don't want to take responsibility for any of this.
1, 2, 4. Okay.
Okay. Now you pour half of the bean mixture over the tortillas.
Okay, we're going to do this. I don't want to splatter. Okay.
Okay. Now you layer the remaining tortillas over the bean mixture.
Okay, Michael, you want to do that? Is this like lasagna?
We should call this a Mexican layered lasagna.
Layered lasagna.
Right.
Okay, well, you wrote it.
You put chili powder in this, right? You could almost add anything in there, any
1
kind of
teaspoon
seasoning
of chili
you wanted.
powder, absolutely.
You could put cilantro, whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so you want a few more tortillas
Yep,
and then a little bit more of the beans mixture over the top. And then sprinkle green onions over the top of that and bake for another 30 minutes.
I already put the green onions in, but you know
Mary.
what to do. You'll do it better than me.
That's good, but it doesn't matter.
The taste will be the same.
That's right. They're in there.
Okay.
Can we layer this on top, John?
That's right. Then we sprinkle the green onions on top and bake for 30 minutes.
That looks
I mean, this is so simple.
Yeah,
One of the
really
excuses people have for not being healthier is they say, I don't have the time and it doesn't taste good. Well,
this looks great.
This is so simple and it really, really tastes good.
And it looks
colorful
very
too.
gourmet. And
now, you made a vegetarian meal for some friends of yours recently,
did.
didn't you?
Actually, it was wonderful, but it took me 3 days because I had a real spread. But
you need John's book.
And then they came and they
Way to
ate
leave it.
chicken. I was so annoyed. I thought, why didn't you tell me? But it was wonderful because it can be delicious, vegetarian cooking. I have a daughter-in-law who's vegetarian, strict. I mean, she doesn't even eat chicken or fish, anything. And a nephew who doesn't even eat eggs. So I'm sort of well-versed in vegetarian cooking. And a son who decided he was vegetarian when he was about 11.
Well, Michael, I have to tell you, everybody's vegetarian. They just don't know it.
Well,
and what fools them is the human body is a survivor. It can put up with tremendous abuse, just like you talked about. 2 packs of cigarettes.
Yep.
It survives. A half a bottle of whiskey every day. It lives. And it can live on grease. But when people learn a healthy vegetarian diet, one without the eggs and the dairy products and the added oils, then they get to be trim and healthy. And just like with you quitting smoking, everything was positive when you quit smoking. Same thing when people switch from the wrong kind of fuel to the right kind of fuel. Everything's positive.
And through the magic of television, here we have our finished lasagna. And we are going to eat it during the break. And we want to say thank you for having us. It was wonderful.
It's fun.
And stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Hello Channel. Learn the language of the internet, travel, commerce, and diplomacy. Watch Hello Channel and learn English. Do it for yourself.
And welcome back. You know, Mary, the most fun in life is to help other people. And especially when you're a doctor, you have that chance to help other people. And I have that chance when I deal with patients with inflammatory arthritis. Like I remember a little boy. His father wrote me a letter. He said, my son Ryan had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. He was suffering terribly. He didn't grow at all, didn't gain any weight. He was in pain, screamed, cried all night long. They couldn't do anything for him. And I told him, I said, change the kid's diet. He wrote me back after 6 months. He says, Ryan is sleeping through the night off all medication. I tell you, that made me feel so good.
See, you're a hero, John.
Well, it was a reward for a lifetime, let me tell you. Just one thing has to happen to you like that. Just once a year to be a doctor who feels good about himself.
Well, you know you're doing the good and right thing.
Well, dietary change is hard though, isn't it?
It is. It's very hard.
And you've been working on yours.
I've been working on mine, John. Yes,
well,
actually I have. I've learned a lot from you.
It's not an all or nothing thing, and people need to realize they can take positive steps, but they also have to realize if they have serious problems, that there is serious help out there. I want to thank the people who are with us on the show. We have Peter Tork, James Lee Stanley, and Michael Leonard, and they did just a great job.
They were great. My mom. Isn't she great?
She's wonderful. Great cook. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.